Hey guys, it's Vanity, Ezel by Card Fight Vanguard, Ezel and Vanity weekly videos. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and sorry if I cough a lot during this video. I've been coughing a lot this last week, and I don't know why. Like, I just recovered from a sickness, but I think the sickness might still be here, so if I cough a lot during this video, I'm sorry. Anyways, we have a lot of reviews for today. A lot of stuff covering a new ride line we got last week with Daikaiser, and the return of the Legion mechanic, along with a new reveal from the Grade 3 from Youthquake, whose name I already forgot, so let's get to charge damage you have. First today, we have Dancing Princess of Water Ripples Micha, Grade 3 to 9%, 13k base, auto from rear guard circle at the beginning of your main phase by soul blasting 1 and energy blasting 3. You retire all of you in your opponent's rear guard and send calm as her, so she retires herself, the unit directly behind her, and all your opponent's units and send calm as her, basically making her a column nuke. Not a bad grade 3 generic common in case your deck can afford to run this for budget reasons, so a solid 2 of. Next up we have Spark Elf's Dragon, grade 1 boost 5k shield, AK base, love the Samurai Dragon aesthetic. Auto rear guard, when you play Blitz order by energy blasting 2, you can move him to guard circle and get extra 5,000 shield for that battle. Honestly, that's pretty solid because Blitz orders are already made to add extra shield to your units, so being able to then energy blast 2 on top of your already possibly free but also possibly really low costing Blitz order to then have an extra 10k shield is pretty good as well. Nice that he can move himself from anywhere on board to guard circle as well, so if you want to put him in back row for boosting you can. So it's a nice solid 2 of tech again, mainly for your generics in case you need to play a budget deck, or also if you're really playing a really defensive deck, that's a solid 4 of. And then we have Inverse Slipper Dragon. So it looks like every deck is going to be getting at least one of these weird Persona Ride double crit units. I think a card that was also revealed today, aka Monday, May 12th, 5:14 p.m. is also going to get one of these. And then I also think every nation is also going to get a 5k power plus 5k shield plus grade 1 if your Vanguard's a grade 3, because I know the later card revealed it talks about that. Anyways, Inverse Slipper Dragon, grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base, auto rear guard when it attacks into the Vanguard. If you Persona Road this turn, it gets 10,000 power for the battle. And if your unit was placed from rear guard circle from the drop zone this turn, regardless if it was it or something else, you can send a hand card with the same card and misses unit into your solo to increase or decrease unit's critical to 2 for the battle. So double crit pressure, again, we have a lot of generics already inherently in the set, but it's not a bad card to have, and its cost for that is literally just Persona Ride and costing from drop zone, which the entire Silver K can do, so not a bad like 2 over 3 of. And then we have a Wicked Smile Yachts, grade 3 to 9%, 13k base, continues back or rear guard circle. I think this is another generic every nation is getting, because I swear Dragon Empire got one too, so I think every nation is getting at least like 4 different generics. But anyways, during your turn, if your solo has 6 or more cards in it, gets boost, and your opponent's Vanguard's a grade 3, it gets 2k as well, so 15k and a 15k booster at that once you hit grade 3, once both sides hit grade 3. And if you have 6 or more soul, which this is Dark State, so more likely than not you're actually going to proc that off, so it's a nice, again, generic 2 over 3 depending on your deck. Then we have Flowback Dragon, grade 1 boost 5k shield, AK base, auto rear guard once per turn when your other unit is placed on rear guard circle in the same column as it from the drop zone, that unit gets 5,000 power. So cool, pops up your unit, doesn't matter when it's placed or how it's placed, as long as it's just placed from your drop zone. So not a bad grade 1 at all, ups power, does it all for free, even if it's only once per turn, so it's a solid 2 of depending again on your deck. Now we move on to our new Dimensional Robo line. So we have the Daikaiser line, so Dimensional Robo Core Kaiser, grade 0 boost 5k shield, 6k base, auto upon second draw card, so he's your standard starter, however you do need it for Daikaiser skill, so there you go. And then we have Dimensional Robo Kaiser Greater. I don't remember if this was an original card or not, either like if it just existed in D series or if it existed previously and then they revamped it in D series, because this card it makes sense considering what it is, but I just don't like it. So grade 1 boost 5k shield, AK base, auto when placed on Vanguard circle, search your deck for 1 base card, reveal it, put it to hand and show off your deck. So it, like the original grade 1, I think it's called Dilander for Dayusha, it searches out the base, and then auto when placed on rear guard circle from the soul by your card ability. If your Vanguards are grade 3, go to Daikaiser. This and all your Vanguards get 5,000 power for the turn. Again, literally Dilander did that skill verbatim. So basically, Daikaiser support is just Dayusha support with a reskin, which I'm not so sure how to feel about that, but I mean, cool, it's all grade 1, run this as one of in the right deck, maybe an extra 1 copy in the main deck because the order can search it. And then we had Dimensional Robo Kaizard, grade 2 instead 5k shield, 10k base. Okay, I do actually love his art. Active Vanguard once per turn. If your opponent's Vanguards are grade 2 or greater, touch your hand card to shoot up to 1 Super Dimensional Robo Daikaiser from the ride deck and ride it as stand. If you rode, you cannot ride cards without Dimensional Robo in the card for the end of this fight. So pretty much you're stuck into D Robos, but it can be any D Robo, which is pretty solid, and a superior rides Daikaiser for you. Then auto rode upon by grade 3 Daikaiser in the card name, call it to rear guard circle, and contains rear guard if your Vanguards are grade 3 or good at Daikaiser, it gets boost. So cool. It pretty much makes it so that you ride Daikaiser a turn earlier, which is great. Allows you to put extra pressure on your opponent, and not to mention the fact that it allows you to get a 10k boost out of it just by simply riding. So not a bad grade 2 at all. I think it's a nice addition for the Daikaiser deck, so 1 of in the ride deck. And I did mention earlier that Legion returned with Daikaiser, and here it is. So now a mechanic called D-Legion, which does differ slightly from Legion, however, it has a lot of similarities. Mainly, if your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, you use this ability to take up to 2 triggers that aren't the heal or the over, so no cycling back any triggers like old Legion Legion was you just specifically take any 2 triggers that aren't the hero of the over, so pretty much crits, fronts, and draws, along with 2 non-triggers for a total of 4 cards from the drop zone to return them to your deck. I mean, in total, you pick 4 cards, so if you don't have 2 triggers in drop zone, you can just pick 4 normal units, but most of the time, you're going to pick up to 2 triggers, 2 normal units, yeet them all back to deck, then you search your deck for the required Legion mate, and you Legion with that. Then your original Vanguard becomes the Legion leader. The new Vanguard that becomes placed right next to your Vanguard becomes the Legion mate. Both are put side by side on the Vanguard circle. The power of the Legion leader and mate are both added together during your turn, along with their card names and abilities from both of them. So if they both have Vanguard skills, both of them are active. If they both have 13k power, they're combined together, so 26k power. The criticals stay the same, so pretty much we only focus on the critical of the Legion leader, so it only ever have 1 crit at the time, but if you ever get an extra crit in your drive check or through abilities, give it to the Legion leader. During your opponent's turn, only the Legion leader's power is referenced. Drive and critical are based on the Legion leader's values as well, so if the Legion mate has base triple drive, it's only going to focus on the Legion leader's base twin drive, along with, again, the base critical as well. Following that, just note that the Legion leader and mate lose their Persona icons as long as D-Legion's in place, so even if Kaiser and Dayusha are both Legion over each other, if you ride Dayusha, it will unfortunately lose the Persona ride, so you will not Persona ride immediately. Either way, though, that's pretty much it for D-Legion. Now, onto the card that's going to break my throat when I say this. something, Jigen Noble, Dai Kaiser! And, okay, that's as far as I'm going to go, because it will actually kill my throat. So, anyways, grade 3 to net Persona, 13k base. Act Vanguard, D-Legion, Super Dimensional Robo, Dayusha. Your opponent's Vanguards are grade 3 or greater, return 4 cards to deck, Superior Ride, etc. Or not Superior Ride, Superior Legion, you know what I mean. Anyways, second skill, the ability that thankfully is not restricted to Legion, because God, I would have hated this card. Auto Vanguard once per turn, when this unit attacks at anything, if it's not boosted during this battle, Energy Blast 3, and it gets Auto Vanguard at the beginning of your guard step. Choose an opponent's guards other than the over trigger, murk it. I forgot that it doesn't touch the over trigger, that's my B. And then until end of your battle, if your bind zone has no copies of Dimensional Robo Core Kaiser in it, then bind a copy of Core Kaiser from your soul, and this unit also gets, until the end of the battle, Auto Vanguard when your opponent's units retire from guard circle by this unit's ability. All the effects cannot be hit or nullified until end of battle. So this unit, regardless of the opponent's grade, can lock out an opponent's guard and send it straight to the drop zone off the over trigger. On top of that, if you do not have a Core Kaiser, regardless of the opponent's grade, bind a Core Kaiser, and then you can nullify PGs. The best part about this is the original Dai Kaiser required you see grade 3s in your drive checks. This just requires you to enter the drive step. That ability is so good because it's free, technically, because you get 3 free energy every turn. Doesn't require the opponent to be at a specific grade. Doesn't require Legion, thankfully. And more importantly, as long as you just don't boost it, the skill procs off regardless. That is an amazing grade 3 skill. Literally the most offensive guard break skill I have ever seen. Easy 3 of, if not a 4 of, because of that ability alone. Then we had Dimensional Robot for Sayaka. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. I don't know why they gave us a bunch of D-Robos when we didn't need them. Like, the D-Robos already had pretty deep pockets to go into, but they gave us like a whole extra set of D-Robos for some reason. Anyways, auto put on guard circle. If your Vanguard's a D-Robo, choose a card D-Robo and different card name from your soul. You may call it to guard circle. Cool, that procs off regardless of your Vanguard's grade. So if your opponent like aggro's you down and you're in the situation where you're at 5 damage before either side, before you get to grade 3, and this is your way of staying alive, there you go. I mean, if you're in that situation, you're probably going to lose, but it's nice that that has an extra defense capability to it. And because D-Robos have a lot of ways to search the deck and the base can cycle itself back, you can warrant like having this as a 2 of just in case for defensive value. Then we have Dimensional Robo Die Spray, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto replace on rear guard circle from the soul by your card abilities. If your Vanguard's a Dimensional Robo, regardless of grade, energy charge 1, cool, increases energy. Dayusha doesn't need the energy, but I mean, it does help with Dai Kaiser and other cards, so it's a solid, again, like 1 over 2 of tech. Then we have Dimensional Robo Operator Nanoka, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, act rear guard once per turn. If your Vanguard's a grade 3, go to Dimensional Robo. Soul Boss when a wrestler, choose a normal D-Robo and a different card name from your drop zone, put it to bottom, and if you chose a card, choose one you use with D-Robo in the card and get 5,000 power for the turn. So cool, ups units power by 5k, and recycles a D-Robo that you can then search the order to then call out with another order, so very solid 2 over 3 of, again, because it's a D-Robo and a searchable. Followed by Dimensional Robo Directing, grade 2 and a set 5k shield, 10k base, auto and place on rear guard circle. If your Vanguard's a D-Robo, regardless of grade, check the top 5 for up to 1, either grade 3 or greater D-Robo, or a set order. So either search for Dayusha, search for Dai Kaiser, search for Dai Ring, or search for the next card we're about to go over, or the order, put it to hand, shuffle the deck, and if you reload a card, you put a card from your hand either into a soul or discard it, and it can change rear guard to guard circle. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 or greater D-Robo and your order zone has a base in it, regardless of your opponent's Vanguard's grade, it becomes a 15k base and a 10k shield, active per his turns. So pretty good for intercepting and guarding all around, and overall for pressure. Again, it's also a free top 5 search as well that can get you free soul cards, so it's a very solid 4 of. Then we have Super Dimensional Robo Shadow Kaiser, grade 3 10% 13k base. 2 of the most popular Japanese things ever, ninjas and robots come together with a beautiful crescent moon in the background. 3 skills actually. Act drop zone. If your Vanguard is a Dai Kaiser in the card name, you did not ride this turn. Soul Boss wouldn't bind him, and then search your deck for one grade 3 or greater die Kaiser in his card name, right to stand shuffle your deck. This is used to trigger Legion again, so you can cycle back more triggers into your deck while also deck cleaning for a die Kaiser. And then continues Rearguard Circle. If your Vanguards are grade 3 or greater die Kaiser, it gets 5,000 power. However, if your Order Zone has 3 or more bases in it, it gets 10,000 instead of 5,000, so a total of 23k base, pretty solid. Active mode players turns, mind you. And then finally, auto Rearguard or the hand. At the beginning of the guard step of your battle, your Vanguard with Dimensional Robo in his card name is attacked by anything, whereas there's the Vanguard or Rearguard. Put this card to your drop zone, choose one of your units being attacked, and you get 10,000 power for the battle. It can only be done before galling Guardians and intercepting. Armor pretty solid, increases power of your units to make it so you don't technically have to use shield in case your opponent guard restricts you. Is a 23k base during both player turns once you have 3 or more bases, and at least an 18k base during both players turns as long as your Vanguards are grade 3. And on the benefit, they can superior ride and allow you to Legion again, making it a very solid 4 of. Then we move on to Full Arrestance Chanter. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto Rearguard when you play a Blitz Order, energy plus 2. Move it to guard sword, get 5,000 shield. Literally the same thing I said earlier. Every single nation is beginning one of these because Dragon Empire got one too. On to our next card, we have Ancient Clock of Interdimensional Hands. Grade 3 normal order. Choose up to one grade 1 or greater unit from your hand. Reveal it, put it to your bottom of your deck. Then check the top 7. Choose up to one unit card with grade 1 less than other revealed card. Call to Rearguard shuffle the deck. Basically, reveal a grade 3 card. Call a grade 2 from the top 7. Reveal a grade 2. Call a grade 1. Reveal a grade 1. Call grade 0, etc., etc. On pretty solid deck is here called deck to rear from deck to rear guard circle for free. Will also allow you to cycle back stuff from your deck. Not a bad grade 3 order at all, but I don't think you really need more than 2 of it. It's clearly meant for it to be yourself first. Tell Sierra. Next up, we have Microtech Laboratory. Grade 2 normal order played by Soul Blasting 1. Check the top 5. Shoot up to one grade 1 unit card from on the card to rear guard circle to the deck. Okay, I know we already have a lot of generics, but the fact that Brandgate and Darkstate's got their orders back to back, I'm assuming possibly every nation's also going to get a superior call order, which means every nation's getting 5 generics, which is a lot of generics in one set. Moving onwards, we have Emitter of Magnetic Flux. Grade 1 boost, 5k showed him, 8k base. I mentioned it earlier. Continues rear guard guard circle. If your Vanguard's a grade 3 guard and your opponent's drive check or revealed a trigger unit this turn, this unit gets 5,000 power, 5k shield. So either you have a grade 3 guard Vanguard and the drive check, the 7 check, a reveal trigger. So 13k base, 10k shield. Not a bad grade 1 to have. Nice generic 2/3 if you have the space for it. Then we have Immunizing Angel. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto rear guard when you play a Blitz Order again. Energy blast 2, move to guard circle plus 5k shield. Okay, Kieran Sanctuary does have actually a lot of decent Blitz Orders in my opinion. So solid like 2 of tech possibly. Followed by Knight of Strategy Jolly. Grade 2 instead of 5k shield, 10k base. Auto rear guard circle once per turn when your unit, including itself, attacks on the back row. It gets 5,000 power for the turn, and you may soul charge 1. So cool. Works with Grand Grace, which is weird that Grand Grace got support this set, whatever. But either way, giving stuff the ability when they attack from back row that Jolly himself will get 5k, and possibly even getting you a soul charge as well to increase your soul count is good as well. It's not a mandatory soul charge. If you're decking out, you don't have to do that. So all around, very solid creature to have. But again, you don't want to see too many of it because its skill isn't that great. It's just a generic card, so it's a solid 2 if you choose to run it. And on to our last review for the day, we have Berg the Sky Ruler deck. So first up, we have Innos the Bouncer, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base. This deck seems to be made up of a lot of war beasts, which I think is pretty cool because I think all these card names and all their arts are pretty cool. Anyways, auto road upon for 1 second draw card, standard start, and better free draw if you go second. Then we have the grade 1 of the ride line, Jarga the Fighter, grade 1 boost to 5k shield, 8k base. Auto when rode upon by Ezel the Smasher, by discarding a card from your hand and revealing a grade 3 card with Sky Ruler in his card name from your ride deck. So if they ever make a different Sky Ruler who isn't Berg, that skill is usable. Structure deck up to one grade 1 card with 6k or less power without Sentinel, call to rear guard circle, shuffle the deck. That's a lot of cards that can target. I know overall everything that falls under the Stoicaea banner in premium, so like, you know, Grand Blue, Neo Nectar, Great Nature, etc., etc. I know they have a lot of 6k base cards, especially like a lot of good ones, because I think those generic counter chargers that everything got around Limit Break era counts as towards that. But also just in general with D, like I can think of Burrow Mushrooms, for example, just in generic case for Stoicaea. But again, I find a fun fact that it goes by the Sky Ruler and that they all have like titles, you know, it's Jarga the Fighter, Inno the Bouncer, Echo the Smasher, Berg the Sky Ruler, pretty cool. Then we have Follower Rabbits, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. These things remind me of the rabbits from Hop, I think it's called, you know, the ninja rabbits, the red berets. Why am I remembering that now? Anyways, continues rear guard circle during your turn. It gets 1,000 power for each of your rear guards, same name as it, also counts itself. So bare minimum, one copy already has a 6k base. And then auto, this cost may also be paid by CB1, discard a card from your hand. And if you did, you search your deck for up to a total of 3 instead of 1. When placed on rearguard circle, discard up to 1 card from the top of your deck. Then choose a grade 3 card with Sky Ruler in its card name from your ride deck, and you may reveal it. If you revealed or you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Sky Ruler in the card name, you can ditch a hand card and search your deck or drop zone for Follower Rabbits, call it to rearguard circle, and you search your deck, you shuffle. If you pay the additional cost, you can search for a combined total of 3 from the deck and drop zone. All around pretty cool because it allows you to get extra rearguard cards onto your board, and again, it increased the power of Follow Rabbit for every single copy on the board, which I think is what Murakumo could have done as an overall generic clan in V Series, because I know a lot of Murakumo cards could clone themselves in V Series, but they didn't get a lot of benefit out of it, so pretty solid there. Then we have Ezel the Smasher, grade 2 intercept, 5k shield, 10k base. Honor wrote upon by a grade 3 card with Sky Ruler in the card name. Soul Blast 1, check the top 5, choose up to 1 card from among them, discard it, and then shuffle your deck. After that, choose a grade 2 or greater unit card from your drop zone and add it to your hand. So cool, I like the fact that it can send something from your deck to the drop zone and then possibly allow you to add it to your hand if you end up having the materials for it. So very solid skill there, and again, it's only costing a Soul Blast. In worst case scenario, you can Soul Blast itself out and then add itself back to hand, so at least you're getting some form of 5k shield out of it. Then we have our main grade 3 in the form of Berg the Sky Ruler. Honestly, I was looking at his art before I did this so I can make the thumbnail, and I think he looks pretty baller, so I can't wait to try this deck out. Anyways, continuous Vanguard Circle during your turn. If you have 10 or more cards in your drop zone, this is still okay. That ability is easy to pull off. This unit gets 5,000 power, but if you have 20 or more in your drop zone, he gets 15k instead. Cool, give you something to work for. It's more mill focused than any actual Stoic K deck so far, because Zorga kind of has that cutoff line at 10 because most of his support cards cut off at 10. Nothing else really requires anything more than that, so being able to pump itself to plus 15 is great. And then act Vanguard once per turn, counter plus 1, check the top 2, choose a card from among them, put it to hand, and discard the others. So adds a card to your hand without showing it to your opponent, mills you another card to get extra drop zone power. Then auto Vanguard once per turn, at the end about the attack, counter plus 1, perform either the following: either choose a column and stand all your rear guards in that column. So the divine skill for Zorga Nadir, but for 1 CB instead of a soul and not once per game. And if your opponent's vanguards are grade 3 or greater and your drop zone has 15 or more cards, stand all of your rear guards. Cool. My issues with this is that both of his skills cost CB, so he will end up eating to your CB a lot. On the bright side, again I say, this is Zorga's divine skill, but not once per game, or this is a board restand. Not a bad skill at all. It is definitely going to take a lot of work because you're going to have to do a lot of milling, but this is still okay we're talking about, so it's very pocketable. Honestly, really cool art, very interesting skill. Cannot wait to test that out myself. Then we have Practice Master, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto and put on guard circle. If your vanguards are grade 3 or greater Sky Ruler, Soul Boss 1, add 5,000 to the shield. If your drop zone has 15 more cards in it, gets plus 15k shield instead of 5k. Seems like the generic thing is you just want to get 15 cards in drop zone. For some reason, Berg has that 20 cards in drop zone thing, but seems you just want to overall get 15 cards in drop zone, which you'll do probably via a lot of soul charging and then a lot of soul blasting and then just a lot of like in general milling, because I see a lot of cards that cost soul blast, so solid like 2 over 3 for defensive prowess. Then we have Heavy Spike Grizzly, grade 2 intercept, 5k shield, 10k base. Continues rear guard circle during turn. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard Sky Ruler in the card name and you have 10 or more cards in drop zone, it gets boosted 5k power. Okay, the sucky thing is that this thing only goes off once you do hit 10 or more cards in drop zone, which I do know for some reason my Zorga deck quote unquote struggles to hit 10 cards in drop zone. It hits it easily, but like I always feel uncomfortable with how I hit it because I barely hit it. So that kind of has me worried, but I mean again, 15k base and boost is pretty easy to pull off, so not that bad. And then our last card is Thruster Vixen, grade 2 intercept, 5k shield, 10k base. I say last card, oh no, this is the last card because I just saw that we got the SEG of the Berg reveal. Anyways, auto when placed on rear guard circle other than by unit card's ability, retire one of your rear guards with a different card name from this unit, search your deck or drop zone for up to 1 copy of this card, call to rear guard circle, and if you search your deck you shuffle it, so it gets an extra copy onto board and technically fills up your drop zone. And then auto rear guard at the beginning of your battle phase, if you have a grade 3 get a Vanguard with Sky Ruler in the card name, by ditching the top card of your deck, it gets 5,000 power and 5k shield till the end of the opponent's next turn. So pretty solid. It can make itself 15k base power and 10k base shield. And then if your drop zone has 15 more cards in it, this unit gets an additional 5k and 5 power and shield until end of your opponent's next turn. So pretty much it becomes a 20k, 10k, or 15k I mean. Aron, very solid grade 2. Again, gets you more board presence, sets up your drop zone, and gets extra power and shield out of it. Not a bad grade 2 at all. Honestly, my only real worry with this deck is trying to pull off Berg's full ability, because I feel like it's kind of iffy to hit 20. Like, it's not hard if you make your deck fully around it, but I do feel like you have to put some work in to get Sky Ruler's effect off fully, but still being able to get a board restand out of it and bare minimum again just Zorga Nadir but better makes this deck very interesting to me, and I can't wait to try it out. So I'm this one here. Hope all of you guys enjoy. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Darcy up your Vanguards.